Hello dear students, welcome back to your English class. Let us start today with the topic called determiners from your grammar. So what is this determiners? What do you mean by determiners? Now you might have heard words such as, for example, the, some, that, my, like such type of words are called determiners. But my question is, why are such type of words called determiners? That is what we need to understand first. Okay, if we can understand this, that why such type of words are called determiners, or what do you mean by determiners, then automatically you'll be able to find out the words that in a sentence which word is a determiner. So let us see what does a determiner do, or how to find out which is a determiner. See, it's very simple. First of all, you must remember one thing, that determiners, they do not describe a noun. Okay, I hope you know what is noun, right? The simple definition of noun, what is noun? It's a naming word, correct? It defines the name of a place, person, animal, thing and all, etc. It's a naming word, noun. So determiners, they do not describe a noun, but what does they do is that they point out a noun. Okay, they point out a noun. They don't describe it, but they point towards it. Now, let me give you an example. If I tell you sister, okay, it's a noun, sister, naming word. Now, if I tell you my sister, now see, the word my, it's pointing towards the word sister, and it is saying that my sister, correct? Now, let me tell you another example. Say problem, difficult problem. Now, the word difficult problem, difficult is not pointing towards the word problem. In fact, the word difficult is describing that what type of problem it is. Is it difficult? Is it a small problem? A very big problem? But what I said, difficult problem. So here in this case, difficult is not determiner. Why? Because difficult is not pointing towards the problem. In fact, the word difficult is describing about the problem. But what if I say that instead of difficult problem, if I say that problem, I repeat, that problem. Now see, the word difficult has been replaced by the word that, T-H-A-T. Now when I say difficult problem, it was describing what type of problem it is. So the difficult is basically, it becomes a kind of an adjective. But when I say that problem, that means I am pointing towards a problem. So the word that becomes determiners. I hope you're getting what am I saying. So in the first phrase what I told you, difficult problem, it is just an exact adjective, and in the second phrase as I told you, that problem, it is pointing towards the problem, it is discovering the problem. Okay. So the word that is a determiner. Now determiners are of 6 kinds. Okay, there are 6 different kinds of determiners. They are articles, demonstratives, possessives, distributives, quantifiers and interrogatives. Now we will see all these 6 different kinds of determiners one by one. All right. Let us start with the first kind of determiner, that is the articles. Now you might have studied in your earlier classes that generally there are 3 types of articles, that is a, and the, a and the, right? Now this a, and the, these 3 words has got certain norms. We cannot, even though they are determiners, but we cannot use these words as per or wherever we wish, or in front of any word. No, there are certain norms, certain rules which you have to keep in mind before using these articles as a determiner. Now, a and an, these two are basically forms of a singular article, okay, and it is called indefinite article. But whereas the word the is called definite article. Now, generally, usually an article is mostly placed before a noun. Whenever we write a noun, before a noun, we generally usually we use article. But what if before a noun there is an adjective? Then will you use the article or not? Are you understanding? For example, if I say a boy, boy is a noun, I am using an article a boy. So, a is an article, right? But if I say tall boy, tall, adjective describing about the boy, he is tall. Now, before the word tall, before the word adjective that is tall, will you use an article? Yes, you will use an article, that is a tall boy, all right. Now, another example, if I tell you wall, okay, the wall, the is an article, wall is a noun. Now, if I say the high wall, so the word high is, if you see, it is an adjective, it is describing about the wall. So, generally we use article before a noun, but if there is an adjective before a noun, even in that case we use article before the adjective, all right. Now, see this so called the countable noun, okay. You know what is countable noun? Those things which can be counted, and noun means a naming word, right. So, if it is a singular countable noun, you can never use that singular countable noun without using a, and, the, mine, some, and so on. And as I told you, the words such as a, and, the, my, some, this all comes under determiners, okay, as articles a and the, they are also one of the kinds of determiner. So, whether it is a or an or the or my, some, this all comes under so without determiner you can never use a singular countable noun alone. Now, as I told you, there are three types of articles, a, and, the. So, these three types of articles has got different uses. There are certain rules which we have to keep in mind, so that we know where to use a, where to use an, and where to use the, all right. Let us see first of all the uses of a, where to use a. So, if you see in your text, you would find that generally, how many uses are given in your text? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right. There are 8 uses of a that is being mentioned in your text. So, let us see at least today, for today's class, we will see the first 4 uses, all right, and the remaining 4 uses of a we shall see in the next class. Okay, let us go with the first 4 uses. First of all, a is used when the sound following is a consonant sound, okay. You know what is the difference between a consonant and a vowel, right. So, first point is that we use a when the sound that following is a consonant sound. For example, a useful thing, all right, let me now listen to this properly. Now, a useful thing, what is the spelling of useful? U-S-E-F-U-L, all right. Now, in this case, you might be wondering that useful, it starts with U, and as far as we are taught or we know, it is said that A, E, I, O, U is a vowel. Then how come useful starts with U and we are writing A before that? Correct? The reason is, even though it starts with U, we will not go by the word with which it starts. We will see the sound, the pronunciation, okay, How do you pronounce you? Useful. What is the spelling of you? Y-O-U, right? So even though it is written as you, but we pronounce it as Y-O-U. This is the reason that we will use a, not an. Okay? So the first use of a is that when the sound following is a consonant sound. All right? Okay. Now let us go to the next point. The next uses of a. Before a singular countable noun, when it is mentioned for the first time. Okay. Now, for example, say you visited a zoo, all right, and you saw a lion. You saw a lion for the first time. Say prior to this, you have never seen a lion, okay? So in that case, how will you describe? What will you say generally? I saw a lion in the zoo today. Why? Because if you have seen it for the first time. But whereas if you have been seeing this lion regularly, say like you stay nearby a jungle, okay, say you got a kind of a tree house, like you might have seen in the cartoons and all, Mowgli and all, and you have been seeing lion every day. So in that case, it won't make any effect on you, like it will be a normal thing, a usual thing. So you would not say that I saw a lion in the zoo today. It's like I see lion, so like what's a big thing? Day and night I keep on seeing lion, so it's nothing. But when you see it for the first time, then how would you express? I saw a lion in the zoo, and a lion, which means it's a countable noun. One lion, okay, a lion. Next comes, we use a before a singular countable noun which represents a class of things. Okay. Now, you all are children, right? What does you need the most? You need care, you need love, you need affection. Okay. Now, all children, they need care. Now, children, if you see, okay, it is representing a class, a group, many children, many child together calls children. Now, if I say, instead of saying all children need care, if I say it, a child needs care. It makes sense? A child needs care, which means all children need care. So, when the moment I use the word a child, I am referring to all the children, the class of children. Okay? So, that means we also use a before a singular countable noun which represents a class of things. The third point, if you see in your text, uses of a, you will see that it is mentioned as to express quantity. Now, there is a difference between quality and quantity. Here I am talking about quantity. What do you mean by quantity? How much, right? Now, like you, for example, you went to a fruit shop and you got, say, 12 pieces of bananas. Now, this 12 pieces of bananas, you can also say is a dozen of banana, right? A dozen of banana, dozen, a collective, a kind of a quantity, right? The word dozen, is expressing the quantity, because we know 12 pieces makes a dozen. Now, if I say a pair of shoes, pair is again expressing the quantity, a pair, that means one pair of shoe, which has got two shoes, left and right, one pair, a pair of shoe, expressing the quantity. Next is, I think we are all done with this 4 uses of a for today. Let me check, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, we are done with the 4 uses of today. The remaining 4 uses we shall do in the next class. See, my dear children, I have done only 4 uses today. In total there are 8, but still I have done half, so that you listen to the explanation, you try and understand, you do all the assignment that is being allotted to you, you are not being overburdened. So please do what is being asked, okay, and in case if you have any doubt, you may get back to me. All right, take care.